Greetings, everyone. This is Helicopter Head, Mr. Watson. Kelly fucking Watson. I'm also known to be Snickle Fritz Jones. It's my alias. I'm going to go into some topics. I like to scan the old YouTube, see what people are jonesing about. You know, if it's politics, if it's more religious shit. You know, people are trying to wake up. People are really just clumping up into new groups. It's like they find something new to roll out their own personal brand of twisted into. And you know, I think that's part of the trap of this time. So I wanted to go into that. So obviously, you know, if people are waking up, what does that mean? You know, for the most part, people live in a pretty non-conscious sort of state. They're like going through muscle memory. You know, very disingenuous in their moment that they're in. They want to go and do what they're doing. They're not really entertaining any deep thought. They're not considering anything. They're not pondering the main questions. Some of them are. There are moments that people have that. You shouldn't become stressed out. The idea of waking up or being awake has to do with what your awareness is able to handle. You know, if somebody comes into my home and they had recently got into a fight, you know, I pick up on that energy, you know, and I'll start to ask them some questions. I see the signs of these things, you know, or somebody's carrying in their demeanor either something else that's going on. And I'm fortunate that I have an opportunity that a lot of people come over. So I get to engage with a fairly steady stream of the population into my own home. You know, and at times it can be very difficult because obviously whatever energy they have can be like a disease, and it can infect me. It can fuck with my moods, you know, make me a fucking pissy little bastard, or not, you know, depending on whatever. But I generally stay in a good mood. I don't like to be fucked with. You know, if somebody comes over and they require a lot, and they don't, you know, call and say, hey, I'm going to come over, are you going to be there? They don't go through any of those motions. That put that self in a certain box. You know, if then that person, hey, come out of your room, come in here, you know, blah blah blah, me. It's already getting worse. You know, I'm a normal person. I like people to consider that I've got things that I'm doing. You know, although I may be doing them here, that does not take away from the fact that there's still stuff going on. If I have to pause what I'm doing and cater to information that is well within your waking person ability to gather yourself, I'm going to be a dick, you know, because most of those motions, hi, how are you? People don't want to know the answer to hi, how are you? Something they say. I think everybody comes to the point where they have the choice to be this person, go through these motions, and get your reward. You know, jump through the hoop, you get your treat. You know, or a lot of times, and don't lie because you know, if this is you, you're given this opportunity to go a little further, you know, to walk out on your own branch, to find out that random thought, that impression that you got, there was something to that. You know, when that happens to people a lot of times, it freaks them out. They don't really know what to make of it. It kind of scares them. We humans tend to not like change. We definitely don't handle the unknown very well. Now here's the thing about the unknown. It's like You actually have to use your imagination wrong to worry. What does that mean? Let's say you're planning on taking a trip. You can imagine on this trip you'll go to the beach, you'll walk, you'll feel the sand between your toes, you'll gather some shells, do all the stuff on the beach. But if that feeling and that thought, that notion that I'm going to the beach is entertained in your mind with images of sharks and you imagine them biting you, then fear is causing you to use your imagination wrong. You should imagine positively. If you build up in your mind's eye imagery, like, okay, let's say someone who masturbates. Now, and they have in their mind now, either people can find something that turns them on. Maybe they like fluffy carpet, and that really gets them going. So they'll be rubbing the carpet, and arousing themselves or whatever. But if in their mind they're imagining someone that they like, and they're taking it to this place, they're using their imagination. And it may not be the wrong way, but it's not bridled. So when they say unbridled imagination, that shit's running rampant. And pow, I'm back. Sorry, I had some friends call. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is Cletus the fetus. He's tugging on his mother's umbilical cord. It's Cinco de Mayo and she's an alcoholic. How's that for Mother's Day? I'm gonna get back to what I was getting into. So, alright. Worry. We're not worrying. We're bridling our imagination though. As we enter these higher realms, in these upper chakras. And the chakras, man, natural or not, still remain to be a straw in the old fucking soda pop can of the human. These other entities are feeding off of us, these inorganic beings and these parasitic, non-appearing types. So we don't want to feed them. How do you not feed these parasites? Well, one, you try not to express any outlandish amounts of loosh. Loosh is ectoplasmic, biophotonic energy. And it's the basic food, yum yum, num nums, for inorganic beings and parasites. The mud shadow being chief of them. And what is the mud shadow? The mud shadow is a dreaming body projected from some fucking bug, probably a mantid, having him some dreams. He likes to project and come into the human realm and bore his self into your crown chakra and then feed on you by dissolving your aura, by looshing you out. You might get horny, you might get wrathful when you succumb to these emotions. You've not directed them into any productive means. You haven't cycled them back through your own energy system. You've expelled them out. And like at the bar, when the fucking drink slides down the bar to the guy's hand, all fucking slick like, well, you just slid that shit away from you. And all slick like there in the unknown, that being gets that fucking beer. You might go through the motions of this. You might do this a lot. You might have quite a fucking cloud, an electro-smog-like cloud around you that you don't even know of these entities. And they might be bloodline related. They might be alien gray related. It's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. Because if you want to stay here forever, cycle on repeatedly, dying, getting wiped, coming back, not knowing a goddamn thing, who you are, what you do, then remain asleep. And that's what'll happen. But if you think there's something to what I'm saying, and there is, then there's simple things that you can do about it. Number one, have a ground, some sort of focus, and collect your own shit. If you're gonna fucking a lady friggling her little self with her little thing, all secretly at bedtime, then you need to have you some sort of containment for your orgasmic energy. Oh, does that sound crazy for you? I didn't say Kleenex. I didn't say fucking wipe it up. I'm saying the energy is going somewhere. You, as a sovereign being, can, by the words of your mouth, direct and collect this energy so that it's not feeding parasitical beings who will be there ready to eat it if they're not prompting you and following you around like a fucking leech stuck to your energy body. Then, that may not be for you. These things are going on. It doesn't matter. Familiarize yourself with the word extant. Extant, A-E-X-T-A-N-T. That means it doesn't matter what you think about it. It's going on. The universe, the sun rises. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. The sun is rising every day. Doesn't matter what you think. Now, it matters to you, of course. It matters to me. I'm not an asshole. I don't not care. It's just I'm trying to itemize and prioritize my cares in a new type of way to reflect the journey that I am taking. And I'm taking this with you. You, audience, other self, greater than, equal to self. I'm taking that because I've found certain things that were those things that I needed to find and see and come to those decisions, and I've chosen what I want to do. And partly what I want to do is get into the healing, help people become aware of certain things in their day-to-day life, as I am aware, and get a grip on those. Like the simple thing I told you about the collecting your own orgasmic energy. That's a thing, because if you taking it, it's a free will. They cannot take from you what you have claimed is yours. But if you think you're just letting off some chemicals and it's no big deal, there's nothing going on there, that 50% of what causes life to happen, that flashing spark of light that happens, then be my guest. Just ignore your power. But we all have this gift. It's what we do about it that shows our character. It shows who we are, and it allows us to go on this journey. And that's really all I want to say right at this time. But I do make some of these items. If you want to leave me a message and contact me, and I've gotten pretty damn good at how to coil these crystals to have these effects. That is either the counter or clockwise torsion spin for your eye, or negative eye effect. If you want to add to the reality, or you need to erase from it certain things. We got to keep balance. A lot of people, they see something they don't understand. They do you a great disservice and harm by acting like a pussy. By being weird. They don't know. You're not impressing me with what you don't know. Your overreaction to what you don't understand does not shine or does not exhibit some great fucking leap on your part. A lot of people are way too extravagantly proud of their ignorance. If this is you, move along. This is not, then I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad to have you as a member of the team. I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary, but I'm walking this one out very slow, taking my time, using every bit that I got. And I'm not making any dramatic shift off the highway of the path I'm on to do it. I'm taking myself where I am, in the moment of where I am, and I'm opening it from that point. That seems to be the hardest thing to do, is find that within the moment. So I challenge you and myself to do it that way. Kelly Watson out.